One of the other movies that I rented this weekend is Fear X. Now, yes, I know this is an old movie, but I was looking for an interesting, scary movie that I haven't seen that isn't in new releases, because all the new releases that I have looked at don't look that interesting, to be quite honest. So, I know John Turturro is a very good actor, and it says it's a psychological thriller, which I like, so I rented it. Slow. That's the biggest thing that stands out for me. Now, though one of the co-writers for this is Hubert Selby Jr., which is one of the co-writers of Requiem for a Dream, as well as the writer of the book for Requiem for a Dream, which says something. It's gonna be dramatic, it's gonna be emotional, it's gonna be realistic, which it is. It's very dramatic, emotional, and realistic, but it's also quite slow. Now, I do love the acting, and the set design, the lighting was very good. You know, it was very realistic. His character lives in a home that's very down to earth. To give you a story on what this is about, he is a mall security. Basically, his wife gets shot and killed at the mall, where also another man got shot and killed that same day, presumably by the same person. Now, the killer of both of these people is not caught. The position of who the man was is not determined. Everyone wants to suspect that he's a DEA agent, or he's FBI, or he's something significant to where he would actually be murdered at the mall of all places. And his wife is just an insignificant, just housewife, a mom to be. She's pregnant at the time. And basically she was just going to be going to the mall that day to meet her husband. They were going to have dinner to celebrate her pregnancy. So basically the killer is not found. He's angry. He's full of grief. And during the movie you see this. He's watching all the security tapes. He's trying to figure out who killed his wife. He's totally cataloging every single person he sees. He's just obsessive. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a picture right here. And there's all these little index cards with pictures of people, because he takes pictures with his digital camera on the TV screen of the security tapes that he watches. So, you know, he tries to take it into his own hands and really try and find the killer, which is, honorable enough, but at the same time, you know, he needs to move on with his life. So basically, one thing leads to another. The cops call him, tell him they got a new lead on who it might be. He breaks and enters into a house across the street because they think they might have something to do with it. He finds a picture. And sooner or later goes to, I think, North Dakota or something like that, and tries to track down the woman in the picture. Lo and behold, he faces the person who just might have been the killer. I'm not going to tell you anything more. And he's going to have to face a few fears. Now there's a twist ending, and it's quite different. I'm thinking that what they tell him isn't the truth at all. He really had found the killer. So basically, it kind of plays with your mind a little bit, because it's a psychological thriller like that. But as much of an interesting, sad, depressing story that it is, I mean, it's a very interesting story of his, a very interesting journey, very eye-opening. It's slow, and though my husband fell asleep on it, I watched it all the way through, got drowsy by the end, fell asleep during the end credits, but I stayed awake for all of it. It's just really slow. That's the only bad thing I can say about it. It's a very good soundtrack, I'll tell you that much. The score for the movie is quite haunting and sad. It's so slow. It's alright though. I mean, it's a very good performance by John Turturro, so if you're a big John Turturro fan, then you'll like this, if you haven't yet seen it. That's all I really gotta say.